everybody, and welcome back to Camel Kingdom, to Mebat Al-Jamal, the Arabian area, and welcome also to one of the last episodes of this area. As I said a few times now, we are on the backstraight, so to say, towards the end of this area. So in real life I already finished that, and for those of you who do watch my Twitter carefully have already seen the final result, kind of, at least, because you know, I've shown already the result as a kind of panoramic picture, and I thought it would be a nice idea to show it off. I mean, in the past it was always like I always tried to hide stuff away, but honestly it's more like I want to hide the stuff away from the workshop and also a little bit from the video kind of things, because there have been a few things happening in the past that weren't too cool, like finding my own videos on other channels before I even have released too much of it. I mean, I'm not that big of a channel, right? So it's not that I'm bothering too much, but it's, you know, it's just like you put hard work in, and I do have a lot of pleasure getting into touch with you guys, and it's a little bit of a shame if you find this stuff somewhere else before this. And yeah, basically that's the reason why I always tend to hide it away from you, and also to keep the curiosity and excitement for you guys a little bit up. But anyways, this episode is also going to be a little bit fun one, because it's actually an episode I totally forgot about that I recorded this stuff. I had a very good go on this once I was recording this, because it's been a lot of fun doing the foliage around this area. As you can see, the plaza and stuff is already pretty much done, but we will do a lot of detail work later on. And all of a sudden I noticed an area which I absolutely didn't tackle at all so far, and we're gonna do this area, but you will see that later in this episode. Before we do so, we're gonna go into the comments of the last video, as we do now more frequently. I wanted to do this as well, and today the first thing I wanted to say is I'm so happy that Mr. DL Fendel is back. I am very happy you made it back, and also very happy to hear that nothing worth happened with you. It's a shame to hear that you needed to be evacuated, but anyways, happy that you all are happy and you know, healthy and stuff. That's a good thing to hear, and yeah, welcome back, mate. Also, we have some very cool and interesting comments towards the medieval theme. I'm not gonna read them out right now. I will keep those comments till the actual first episode of the medieval area, which will be there in, yeah, as I said, I think the time schedule I gave last time is pretty much realistic. So it will be after the weekend of the 10th of February, so the week after. I'm quite confident that I will have already recorded the first episode. I can't wait to do it, but I have to do something else first. For example, university is still bothering me a lot, so yeah, that's the reason why. But anyways, we have some more comments, and first of all, we have the comment from, oh damn, now I clicked on it. I didn't want to do that, because then I just see my answer. So the first one is Denistar HD. He says, everything in this area fits so well together, with a heart kind of smiley. Thank you, mate. I love that it comes together like that, and yeah, really appreciating this comment. Also, before going on with the comments, just want to mention this idea over here. I wanted to have some hanging carpets all over the place, so to make some shadow for the area. It was a little bit of a fiddling work, but it did work out quite well, I guess, in the end. Anyways, we have another comment from Rush Test for Echo. One way to make the water wheel work properly while still threading the needle with the coaster would be to have a very large radius spindle that's hollowed out, and have that spindle act as a tunnel for the coaster, then have a spindle connected to the gearing, something like with wait, I have to click on it. Wow, that's a long comment actually. Where are we? Something like the largest Ferris wheel on Planet Coaster, which is like the hubbless design, the Tokyo Dome City. Obviously doesn't need to be 80-90% of the mass, the wheel like those, but making a large enough for the coaster to fit through Would be easy. I know you mentioned that this area is pretty much complete, but figured I'd offer an easy solution for that water wheel issue. Otherwise, I've massively enjoyed this series and will continue to look your commentary and methods. To your commentary and methods, I should say. It's been extremely entertaining and informative, and I'm eagerly anticipating seeing the finished product. Well, mate, I'm also eagerly anticipating finally cutting it. You know that the area is finished, but I can't do it right now because I want to, you know, wait for all the comments, and yeah, that's basically one of those. I might go back to those comments later on again, but first of all, I just wanted to answer to iDestructs. He asked, hey Rudi, will the Noria get some water effects to run it? Besides, I would really love to see a snake charmer right in the park. Those guys fit more in the Indian theme, but maybe as a traveler on your market area. Enjoy your trip to the Lion King. I'm kinda curious how this event will affect your park. Greetings from Cologne, I suggest it is. Yeah, well, thanks for this. And also thanks for the first comment I read out before. It's a great suggestion with the water wheel. Maybe I'm going to tackle it. Not quite sure, to be honest, right now, because actually, as I said, I'm completely finished with it. But, well, never say never, right? But now I have to jump back to the video because it is getting a lot more interesting right now. I am going to do the rooftop of the queue area, which is basically something I have been missing for a very, very, very long time. I totally forgot, to be honest. I just made the queue and called it the queue episode and, you know, stuff like that. But actually, I totally forgot about the queue area on top of this big house. So it was really hard to put myself into this position because the area around the plaza back on the water wheel is not finished at all. So I needed to do this rooftop area in between because I just wanted to get it off my list, off my to-do list, to get closer to the deal, to make this area finished one. But anyways, so I went in here and it, yeah, you know, it was a little bit harder than I expected because I put myself into quite a challenge, to be honest, by layouting the whole thing beforehand. I didn't really care about how I could do the roofs and stuff. So a big thanks goes to the adventure pack, which now offers me a lot of pieces I can use as simple roof pieces without being too piece heavy. I mean, if I would look back to the whole area, I could be so much more effective or efficient in piece usage, because those walls, those adventure walls, are just the best walls in the game. Even though I think they won't necessarily have the same cool texture at the back of the windows, it still is a little bit more like the rough thing on the back of the windows, while the adventure things are a little bit more washed out kind of things. I know, you mean, it's a little bit hard to explain, right? Those two walls have different kind of things you can really use in a good way. So first of all, the back of the windows is a little bit more the kind of concrete one with a rough texture to it, while the adventure ones are a little bit more like sandstone. You can definitely paint them grayish to make them concrete looking, but I think in terms of the structure, it's more like sandstone, which obviously for the Arabian area works perfect, but also the concrete did work out very well with this kind of a beige-ish, you know, nude kind of color. I think that, you know, works out well. But anyways, back to the queue area over here. I wanted to make my life a little bit more easy. Yeah, if you know me, you know that didn't work out because I always come up with new ideas that ruin my first approach on being a little more easy. So I wanted to just make the queue area on top of this little roof a little bit more easy, but then I came along with an idea to make some little, yeah, kind of flower beds on top of this one, so to make it like a royal palace garden on top of the little palace area, which makes sense, I guess, but it solely should be, you know, something that is actually making the queue look nicer before you go in the more like Darkride area. So it also should tell the story of what I've already been talking about in one of the last episodes. So the idea, as I said, is that the whole Darkride covers the journey of some people leaving the big, shiny, royal city to search for a new one and build their new city. And this kind of rooftop represents like the last area of the royal you know, royal palace where they've been. So it has to be some colorful yet very structured flower beds, which are really well managed and bright and colorful in terms of greenery as well, because they have enough water to feed all the you know, flowers around there. But anyways, then we have this little tree over here, which I thought it would be a nice idea to give it a special flower bed in this kind of fence. I just experimented a little bit with those pieces. I saw someone using this piece as a piece to fill in gaps of plazas, but I thought it could also be a cool thing to be used as flower beds. So I tried this as a really dried out sandish stuff with this little water fountain thing below. I think that works out beautiful. I don't know why, but I just like the design. Also, I wanted to have some water over here, which is an actual fountain, so it makes sense to actually have water over here, I believe. Also, I wanted to test if I can use those canopies from the castles. It's the medieval castles, I believe it is, or the pavilion, I should say. And you can really use it also to make those little, how they're called, not canopies. Is it the forehead? It's not the forehead, obviously, but how's this called? I don't know. It's an awning, right? The awning. That's what I was looking for. The word I was missing was awning. But yeah, I decided not to go with it because it was a little bit too big and a little bit too fiddly to fit it in and make it look actually as if it would be actually placed there. But yeah, then I wanted to make this whole area also a little bit more theme park-ish in that kind of sense that we need some backstage area as well. I mean, this is the big dark ride area, so I imagine that underneath this area where basically there is nothing, like we have those two shops in, and then there is a little bit of an open space between the entrance area and between the shop area, like the little market I placed there. And I imagine that all the machinery and all the maintenance stuff is below there. And the entrance to this area is basically on top of this very roof over here. So people from the staff would actually go there and then put it. And you know, just go there and maintain the ride. That's what I basically wanted to say. But yeah, as always, I'm just trying to put there a few assets just to make it really backstage looking. It's not too crazy, right? In Koali Beach, for example, I went a little bit abroad and yeah, maybe exaggerated as always a tiny little bit in this project. So I wanted to keep that easy peasy over here. So yeah, I think it worked out, but yeah, don't judge it too much of an realistic aspect. It's just there to be there. I mean, well, does it make sense? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. So sorry. But yeah, so apart from that, I also wanted to you know, finalize a little bit of the terrain work around. So I started to put down some trees, and you might wonder why those are like oak trees and stuff. It basically is now to blend this area in. Like we do have to do a little bit of work blending in the Arabian area into the theme park area, because I always said this is an approach on a theme park area that actually could be in a theme park. So we need to blend it in with actual stuff that makes sense in a kind of theme park. But anyways, that should be it about this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. We have this very rooftop now finished, so next episode is about getting the rest done, and then we are about to be finished with the whole area. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, leave a like if you like the episode, and yeah, subscribe if you haven't already, and enjoy your day. Bye bye.